I might love it. I might love it. I'm so Mike Lowry.
What's up, people? This your boy RLS Gaming, and today we will be talking about Road to Glory College Football 26. Now, yesterday they had the trailer reveal for it, and we all were so excited. I was excited. I wanted to scream. Nah, but for real, man, it was a great trailer, man. Dope trailer, man. I loved everything about the trailer. The one thing that I was waiting for, the one thing I was waiting to see was at high school. I wanted to see it. Yeah, I know, like, you know, we had the little Madden little trailer with the college trailer as well. And, you know, had a dude on the phone and he was talking about, you know what I'm saying, well, he was getting drafted or whatever, but we seen that he started from high school and all that. So we kind of knew, you know what I mean? But when we seen that trailer yesterday, it was like really confirmed, like, yeah, they really did it. They really did it. They really did it. So yeah, man, we get that. I'm so happy about that, man. But we will be watching a video today from the creator named Tubby. He will be talking about the things that someone else, you know, that who got to play the game early, and they went over everything in College Football 26 that we can be expected to see. And we got to see, they got to see as well, Road to Glory and all the greatness that it has, and maybe the not so great that it has for others like us. You know, I mean, I know, well, like me, that wanted that feel that we had back in the past, you know what I mean? And I have seen comments, some people say, oh, we crying and all this bullshit. Look, you damn right I got tears, okay? You damn right I got tears, buddy. Okay? I'm still excited, though. Alright, but anyway, man, I'm gonna shut up for this part. I'm gonna let my boy Tubby talk, you know what I'm saying, and I will, you know, probably like have my little 2 cents in it, you know, about how I feel on certain things that he will discuss about Road to Glory. You know what I mean? The high school version is what we're focused on this video, and as well as Tubby. So yeah, man, let's get to it.
Let's talk about Road to Glory in College Football 26, specifically the high school portion of Road to Glory. So we should all know by now that high school is returning in Road to Glory in College Football 26. That's obviously a massive W, but the question is, what is it going to look like in this game? Fortunately, there were some content creators, some YouTube, some sports writers that got to go to a play testing early and play the game. So they've already, you know, gotten their hands on the game, have gotten to play portions of College Football 26. So most of this information is going to be coming from Robbie Calland of CBS Sports and Chris Vanini of The Athletic. I will link both articles down below in the description. They both have great information, and they both gave us a little sneak peek at Road to Glory, specifically high school. So first things first, Chris Vanini tells us that the high school experience is optional. You don't actually have to play it. You can skip it and just go straight to college if you would like. And I think this is actually a good thing, because if you're a player that doesn't care about the high school experience, you know, you can just go ahead and skip it, go straight to your commitment, go straight to college. I think that's fine. Like, I always think it's good to give players more freedom, more customization, and more options. So if you don't want to play it, you don't have to. And if you do want to play it, you can. Chris also tells us that EA said that the high school experience should last about an hour of gameplay, which seems pretty short in my opinion, and we will get into more why here in a second, because this is actually how the high school experience works. So just like College Football 25, you will choose your starting journey, which is essentially just choosing what star level you want to start at, you know, 2-star all the way up to 5-star. I'm hoping they also add like a 1-star and a 0-star option. That way it's essentially like you're starting from scratch. But whatever star level you choose, you are not locked at. You can either increase or decrease that star level based on your high school play. So if you play really well, you know, you can move up from like a 3-star to a 5-star. Or if you suck, you can move up or move down from a 5-star down to a 3-star or 2-star or whatever. So I don't mind this system too much. You know, if some people just want to start as a 4-star already and try to get to a 5-star, they can do that. So I don't mind getting to choose where you start at, as long as I can move up or move down. That's really the important part of that. So again, I don't think this is a big thing. Some people are complaining about it. I think this is fine. So for example, Robbie Calland, he said he chose to be a 3-star quarterback to begin with, and he actually dropped to a 2-star quarterback based on how he played in high school. And I think it's also important to mention here that EA said there's 10 new archetypes to choose from. So with quarterbacks last year, the 3 archetypes were field general, scrambler, and improviser. So we don't know if there's going to be new archetypes for each position or how it's exactly going to work, or even if we get new positions we can choose from. They didn't mention it yet, so I kind of doubt it, but hopefully maybe that's why there are new archetypes, because there's new positions. That would be interesting. But regardless, once you do all of that and create your player and start your journey, you are going to pick 10 schools to be in your top 10. Now, I don't know if these are the only 10 schools that can recruit you, or if it's like this is just your top 10 and other teams can jump into your top 10. If I had to guess, unfortunately, I would say these are the only 10 teams that can recruit you throughout the recruiting process. I hope that's not the case, but I'm assuming that's how it works. But maybe not, because if you remember in NCAA 14, we would choose schools to go to our college choices, but we could get recruited by other schools. It wasn't like we were limited to just the ones we chose. So hopefully that's how it works in CFB26 as well. So after you pick your top 10 schools, you will play 5 weeks of a high school season. For each school, you can see their depth chart and where you project, their other recruits on the recruiting board, the team's coaching style and scheme fit for your archetype, and more. From there, you have a tape score that you earn points toward with your play by hitting your goals, with some goals getting boosts for certain teams. You can also get a challenge goal from a specific team that can give you a big boost with that school. And then it says instead of playing full games, you pick 4 moments from a list before each game to play that have a basic goal worth 50 points and a bigger goal with 200 points or more. So let's break this down a little bit. We are not playing full high school games, unfortunately. We're not even playing a full season. It's only 5 games. So 5 games, and you don't actually play the games. You are picking 4 moments from each game. So I think if I'm understanding this correctly, the high school experience is going to essentially be 20 moments, whatever that means. You're just going to play 20 separate moments, and that's your whole high school experience, which is probably why it's only an hour of gameplay. And then again,
Hmm. Hmm. Look. All right, man. It's not all that bad, I guess, but I okay, look. Okay, the 5 games, there's nothing wrong with that. It's really nothing wrong with that. 5 games, cool. Okay, you want to give us 5 games? I'm cool with that. What I don't like is let me play a full game. I just want a full game. Let me play 5 full games of my senior year. Then on top of that, I would like, is the 5 games like, is it, you know what I'm saying, if you win these games, like just the 5 games, are you going into the playoffs? Then the playoffs to the championship to make it expand a little bit more. I feel like if it's like that, that will actually like that'll be really dope. You know what I mean? That'll be really dope. Like we played the 5 games regular season, and it's like, you know what I'm saying, we have to win these games or we can't lose like 2, you know what I mean, something like that, or 3 or whatever. And you get to go to the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, and you have to, you know what I'm saying, it's one and done. You know what I mean? You have to win those games, and we get to the championship, things like that. And if we do get to the championship where we have like more rewards, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, would that get you higher? But I mean, I don't know, man. You know, maybe I'm just thinking too crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking at all. But at least another thing, like maybe, you know, I think he does explain like you do get to like play the drives or whatever. So you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let him get to that. Then maybe I'll come back to that after that. But yeah, man, I hope though, like at least if it's 5 games. I don't want to play the moment. Let me get like 5 full games. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to play the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gonna go to your girl. You trying to get, you know what I'm saying? You trying to bust them cheeks. You ain't about to be, baby. Let me get half a cheek. Let me see half a cheek. No, I want the whole cheek. All right. Anyway, that don't make no sense. Whatever. Just go with me. Just go with it.
again, assuming I'm understanding this correctly, each moment has a basic goal attached to it with 50 points and then a bigger goal attached to it worth 200 or more points. I don't know if these moments are literally just like one play or if it's like a 2-minute drive. I'm hoping it's like at least a full drive, so it's not like you're just going in, throwing the football once, and then you're immediately back out to the next moment. I'm hoping you at least get to play like a full drive. But overall, and obviously I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know, but I don't necessarily really like the sound of it. I would have really preferred to actually play a legit high school season, 10 games, 12 games, and I play each game individually, and then I can go to, the high school playoffs. Maybe this will be a great feature and we actually do enjoy it, but based on how it's described in these articles, I'm not necessarily super excited now for the high school experience. I mean, it's better than not having a high school experience, but I think I might rather just have the old high school from, NCAA 12, 13, and 14. Because I was really hoping they were going to take that high school experience from the old games and make it even better. So you're still playing each game individually, you're still playing a full season. But the games are maybe more challenging. There's a more legit recruiting process. And it sounds like maybe there's going to be some sort of recruiting process in this game in CFB26, but you don't really get to play the high school football games. So the better you do at hitting these goals on those 4 drives, he does say drives here, so that is promising. It sounds like maybe you at least get to play a full drive. He says in those 4 drives you get each game, the more interested schools will get, and once you meet their threshold, you'll get a scholarship offer. So that does sound similar somewhat to NCAA 13 and 14, like based on your play in high school, you would level up the bars for each school and kind of progress closer to a scholarship. So it kind of sounds like the same thing. As you accumulate points, each school has a threshold you have to hit. Probably, the bigger programs have more points you have to get, whereas the smaller programs, it's less points. Once you hit that point threshold, they will offer you a scholarship. And as he said earlier, these points accumulate to create your tape score. So kind of going off like a huddle theme here based on your tape, and they call it the tape score. You can commit at any time, but as you keep playing, if you do better, you get better incentives and boosts to skills if you sign with that team as part of your offer. This feels like their way of doing NIL without NIL. So it sounds like there's not really NIL in Road to Glory, unfortunately. The way they do NIL is schools will kind of offer you boosts, like you might be a higher overall, you might be faster at this certain school, maybe your throw power is better at this certain school, and they do that.
Again, that's cool. That's cool. But let's picture this though. Like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, if they it'd be real, real dope. If like they like, hey, we really want you. We offer you this and that. A little bit of money on the sun. Some good little, some free shoes. They're like, hey, come outside. This car can be yours. Or hey, you come with us. We can put your mama, your dad. We put y'all in the house. Something like that. Like, why can't we not have that? That's maybe I'm thinking too far, or maybe I ain't thinking at all. What I'm saying is, that would be cool. If they kind of did those things. But I get it. It is what it is. I am not the creator of this game, and I'm gonna enjoy whatever they put in there because I love just having that. I love having sports games, and I'm a sports game type of guy. Play all type of games, but yes, of course, us getting this college back, man, I'm very excited for that. I love college football 25, so of course I'm excited for this, especially since the high school is coming back. But it's just these limitations and things that maybe my imagination just kind of goes off. But yeah, man, it would be cool though. Like they're like, hey, we want you. We want to put your mom in the house. Your dad, get your dad that car he always wanted. We gonna get you that car. We gonna hook you up with some money. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. You ain't gonna be broke on campus. Something like that, But hey, it is what it is.
That to kind of incentivize you to commit there, and that's kind of how they're doing NIL, which I guess is kind of cool. It's better than not having any sort of incentives or boosts or NIL, but I'd rather just straight up have like actual NIL where it's like a money-based system, and then maybe I can buy different equipment and stuff. The end of the paragraph says, however, if you play poorly, you can lose incentives, and if they sign another player at your position, the tape score threshold could jump up and you might lose your offer. So if you don't play well, you can also lose NIL deals or those incentives and boosts. But I do like the idea that there is some sort of recruiting process here. So like if you're a quarterback and they sign a different quarterback, now the threshold of the amount of points you need to get a scholarship from that school is going to go up because they're thinking we already have a quarterback we don't need another quarterback unless this guy's like really, really good. So now you get to play even better and get even more points. And if they've already offered you a scholarship, it sounds like you might even be able to lose that scholarship if you start playing poorly and you fall below that threshold. Finally, you narrow your list to a top 3 and get to do a hat ceremony if you haven't already committed. And we know it sounds like you can basically commit at any point, but if you haven't committed, then you narrow it down to that top 3. And then that's when you have the hat ceremony and you choose which school you're going to go to. And he even said you can fake out a team by like throwing a hat off the table, so that's kind of a cool touch. And we also know you can actually decommit from a school, which I think is cool. Maybe you get a bigger incentive to go to a different school, and so you decommit and then go to that school. That's going to be fun. So there's definitely some cool and fun features that I'm looking forward to in this high school experience. And it actually does sound like there's some sort of recruiting process going on, so I hope that's really, really fun. I mean, that might be make or break for me for the high school part, but I am kind of disappointed that we don't get to play a full season and a full game. And this is just the high school part. I don't know if they've made any big changes to the college experience in Road to Glory. I haven't really seen anybody touch on that. I know that Robbie Callantier didn't even play once he got to college. He just, I think switched over to Dynasty mode, which makes sense because high school was supposed to be the big new thing. So I also hope there's big changes to, the 4 and 5 years you're in college, because even if with the high school experience, which is awesome, if the college experience still sucks, the game mode's not going to be any fun. And that was, part of the problem in CFB25. Despite being no high school, even just the 4 years in college wasn't that fun. So that is a brief overview of the high school experience in Road to Glory for College Football 26. I'm excited to try it. I think
There you go. My boy Tubby put us on. Let us know what's going on. Thank you, Tubby. Yeah, man. It's I do like what he said about the NIL. I didn't think about that. About some fact that they are giving us a little bit of something, like getting booze from different. So I guess that's cool. But I do also, like he said, wish that like they would give you money for like equipment, or just helping you to get your player better. Things like that. But it is what it is. Maybe again, we don't have the game yet, so we never know, man. You never know what'll happen, man. They just letting us know. They might not even let the people that come, that came to play the game early, really let them know all the, the things that they have for us, because they knowing the information is gonna go out there, and they're like, hey man, I want a few surprises out there, So when people get the game, they're like, oh my God, like I wasn't expecting this, So yeah, but yeah, like he said as well, man, we are kind of disappointed that we will not have that same feel as like the past, playing that 10 to 12 games, You could even like make your local teams on there, If you wanted to make your local high school teams, you could put them in there, Customize them and things like that, customize your schedule and all type of things, But what is cool is the hat ceremony. I love that they have the hat ceremony, and like he said, like you will be able to basically like you put on a hat, or mess with psych him out. I ain't messing with that coach. He ain't talking about nothing. That boost wasn't nothing. I need another boost. So hey, I like that as well. So it's some pros and some cons. And he did say, I guess, you will have a full drive, if you choose that. So I guess that kind of go in like when you play the Dynasty, how you can just play the offense, the defense, or you just come in for the key moments. So I guess that's kind of where they're going with that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I feel it. You know what I mean? So again, pros and cons, but again, the main thing that people were excited for when they mentioned high school or seeing the high school was basically that we were going to be able to play those 10 to 12 games, have a full senior year in high school, go to the playoffs, then you go to college, and then not only that, you get to build up your, your stars and everything, your recruit, are you going to be a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star? I don't even know why I did all that, because you already knew where I was going, but anyway, all that, you know what I mean? It was something, you know what I mean? It made you feel like, you really competing for this goal, and you're trying to get there. You're trying to be one of the best, you know what I mean? You want to get recruited from the top schools. You want to be one of the best, you know what I mean? So, you're living the life that you didn't get to have. 'Cause a lot of people play these games, man. They either were playing football, never played football, just love the game of football. So, you know what I mean? When you playing these games, kind of just living that life like, man, that's gotta been me. Sound crazy, but hey, am I lying? You know I ain't lying. Anyway, yeah, man, it's still gonna be a great game. I'm still excited for college football 26. I'm ready for it, man. I can't wait to see what, and when I get it, to see how really the high school, experience will be. So it is what it is, man. Again, I'm not the creator of this, man, and so sometimes when we get these games, a lot of people we complain, but you can complain. You have every right to do. You know what I'm saying? It's your opinion, and it's how it's your feelings. But at the same time, we have to think, man. We didn't create this game. These people made these games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people call them lazy, whatever. I mean, but they made this game, man. They made it. I don't know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, all we can do is enjoy it. But we can put our input to help them, you know what I'm saying, to make a better game. So that's that, But yeah, it is what it is, man. I can't wait. July the 10th, official when it comes out. But if you do pre-order it before June the 19th. Oh, did I say June? I mean July the 10th, if I didn't say that right. July the 10th. But if you do pre-order it June 9th, before June 19th, you will get to play it on July the 7th. So, yeah, man. So, hey, college football 26, it'll be here soon, man. We're almost there, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Boy, I can't wait. Like a virgin about to get his first, Anyway, I hope everyone have a great day, a great night. Until then.